Chicken Little is a movie about a trans bird trying to earn the love and respect of his father. And also aliens in the sky or something. I don't know. Howdy and welcome. My name is Jarnope, and today I'm going to talk about how Chicken Little is very trans, and no, I will not change my mind. But first, we got some definitions to go over. Gender identity. One's personal sense or perception of one's own gender. This doesn't always have to line up with one's sex. Sex. The category or label you are assigned at birth based off of primary sex characteristics and chromosomes. Transgender or trans. A person whose gender identity does not match what they were assigned at birth. Cisgender or cis. A person whose gender identity matches what they were assigned at birth. Queer. Of, relation to, or characterized by sexual/romantic attraction that is not heterosexual and or a gender identity that is not cisgender. So here's the thing. I am intimately familiar with being trans and what it's like, so you can trust me when I say everything about Chicken Little. Trans. Like super duper trans. I mean, the story was even originally going to be about a girl chicken going to camp until Michael Eisner told them to change it. And his reasoning was like really weird too. He was quoted saying, "If you're a boy and short, you get picked on." Like, okay, when you're a kid in anything, you end up getting picked on? Kids suck? But anyway, I assume you want proof. So I did some research, and while I unfortunately don't have anything as definitive as Chicken Little boldly declaring trans rights, I do have something else. My own experience. It's not the exact same, but it's kinda unsettling just how close some of it hits. So the movie begins with disaster. The town is in shambles, fires are everywhere, multiple crashes have happened, and at the center of it all, one chicken. He's making a huge announcement that'll have an impact on the rest of his life. The sky is falling. And isn't that just the way it goes when you come out of the closet? It feels scary, unsettling. You know the potential danger, but not how anyone will react. Sometimes you get lucky and you may have a kick-ass mom who supports you and makes it clear to certain other parents that they need to keep their damn mouth shut. But in the movie, the town finds an acorn and accuses Chicken Little of making it up, or at least just being confused. And his dad agrees, quick to dismiss Chicken Little and everything he said as kids doing crazy stuff, something that happens far too often to trans youth. Even my mom, as supportive and amazing as she is, well, when the doctors told her it was a weird phase and I'll grow out of it, she went with it. In her defense, what can you do? Your kid's making these claims that go against everything you know to be truth. Trusted professionals and community members are telling you that's wrong or it'll pass. Of course you dismiss it as the imaginations of a child, especially when truth told you're also worried about how it makes others perceive you. Are you now less of a parent for your child's wacky claims? Did you fail somehow and now everyone will know? You can't be sure, so you stick with what's safe. It was just an acorn. See, I came out to my family during winter break at 14, 15 years old. And until I changed schools about a year later, I was, well, not necessarily bullied, but some of the kids were less than nice to me about it. So, yeah, I was bullied. And so was Chicken Little. His coming out was very public, and while, like me, his friends stood by him, regardless of if they actually believed his story, everyone else did not. I was mocked for being a huge old gay slash slur for trans people. And Chicken Little is mocked for what his father affectionately refers to in the movie as his big mistake. And Chicken Little can never escape this torment. I mean, everyone in town is aware of who he is and what happened. There's a movie.
A movie. A movie. They're making a movie.
A mother literally ushers her child away from him as if he's some kind of filth or monster. The coach actively encourages other children to bully him and the others deemed to be in the same category as him. And while I never had teachers do anything as cartoonishly evil, there was certainly a number who were, let's say, less than respectful about my name and pronouns at the time. So by technicality, Chicken Little is never in the closet about this whole situation. But for the purpose of my argument, he basically is. Let me clarify. He's in the pseudo closet, a very real thing for plenty of queer people. It's when you come out and it's promptly ignored by everyone or swept under the rug as if it never happened at all. When Chicken Little said the sky was falling or came out, his father was eager to pretend it never happened, or at least like it was a tiny, one-off incident that'll never have to come up again. Buck tells Chicken Little to hide himself from everyone. His literal words are, "Now we've got a plan. Remember, lay low." And Chicken Little takes this to heart. I mean, he is just as desperate to get everyone to move on and forget this whole thing ever happened, even though his friends encourage him to talk about it with his dad for closure. Instead, Chicken Little tries to be good at what he's not, so he can appeal to his father through a seeming normalcy. Something I tried too. And for him, it doesn't work. Until it does, kind of like me. I tried to be good at my assigned gender, and that did not work. I was extremely bad at it. Just like Chicken Little is terrible at baseball. The movie's analogy for normal stuff. So much so that his father is embarrassed and concerned by Chicken Little's attempts. "Please try not to get your hopes up too high," he says. But then he does it. Chicken Little successfully performs at the baseball game, despite literally every odd against him, and proves that he can be normal. Yay? Chicken Little is glad to finally have his father's obvious respect and affection, so when he's reminded of the sky falling, of his original coming out, he freaks. Even when his friend is almost fishnapped, and there appears to be a very real chance of an alien invasion, Chicken Little still hesitates. When I switched schools, I didn't tell anyone about being trans. Some kids probably figured something out eventually, but not because I told them. And even to this day, at work, I don't dare come out. I've seen what happens to my coworkers. They aren't well received. And all they asked for was a single pronoun. Like Chicken Little, I'd much rather play baseball and leave the past buried. But like Chicken Little feared, his father still chooses the normal over him. The aliens invade and everyone sees that Chicken Little was right. This one's a little bit more difficult to map one-to-one for the analogy, so bear with me. Chicken Little and his father finally talk it out, and Buck realizes that he hurt his son by not listening or offering his acceptance before.
But you need to know that I love you, no matter what. And I'm sorry And I'm sorry if I ever made you feel like that was something you had to earn.
Buck agrees to listen and support his son unconditionally from now on. He's a little too gung-ho about it, but we'll let it slide because at least he's trying. You know, one of those parents. And when they reach the top of the building, when it becomes impossible for Buck to follow, he calls out to Chicken Little saying, "We can't go out this way. It's too dangerous." A literal echo of something my own mom told me when I wanted to come out. Not because she didn't love me or not want to help, but because she did. She didn't know what the world could do, and she knew she couldn't be there for every battle, and that scared her, just like it scared Buck. But Chicken Little, we knew. If we didn't do this, we certainly wouldn't be there for much longer. And as the father alien states, when they need you, you do whatever it takes. So there, it might not be perfect evidence, but it was enough for me to relate to it. Which, when all is said and done, is all it takes. So you hear that, folks? Chicken Little was trans because I said so. And also because the story can kind of be a metaphor. But mostly because I said so. Well, that's this video. If you liked it, leave a like. And if you want to politely discuss something I said, then leave a comment. Otherwise, take care and remember, though at times it may feel like the sky is falling around you, never give up. For every day is a new day.